Okay, before we kick into the video, let's explain what's going on back here, because proper YouTube channels, as this is, I'm hoping to one day turn into, have proper nice backgrounds. I'm in the process of moving, and believe it or not, that is the most inoffensive view I could find. Plus, I've got the light as well. So, but stick around for following videos in the future, because hopefully the background's going to be nice, and then this will be a proper YouTube channel. It is 6:40 on the 22nd of January 2025. Car is loaded up and we are about to head to the Alps, which according to Waze is going to take me 8 hours and 26 minutes. That's 966 kilometers if I don't stop, which I will be, because I'm too tired to make any sort of funny or witty intro, so deal with it. Here we go. So last year, 2025, was an incredible year for me, both personally and musically, but this is a musical based YouTube channel, so we're going to stick to the musical shizzle. It was one of the best years I've ever had, probably the best year I've ever had musically, and it started with a solo tour. Is the eyebrows all right? Too late now, we're in. It started with a solo tour of the French Alps. This year was going to start exactly the same. So I'd been booked to go out for just over 3.5 weeks, and if I'm honest, I was a bit nervous about it this time around, because last year was the first time I'd been there in 8 years, and I was so happy and elated and grateful and just like a pig in shit to be back, to be honest, that there was a sheen over me going there, and I was distracted by all these feelings of being back, that for the first half of that tour, I was really emotional. It was I loved it. Not to say I didn't love the second half, but I was sick in the middle and had to cancel a gig, I think, if I remember rightly. But then the second half, having that sheen gone, was I was very much aware of how much work, how much of a physical and mental slog it is to do a tour like that solo, completely solo. So taking into consideration, I probably wasn't going to have as long as a filter. The rose-tinted glasses wasn't going to be there for as long and as strongly as it was last year. I was nervous. I was nervous to see how I would be for those 3 and a bit tours, 3.5 week tour. And I was a bit worried that it would cast a shadow over the whole thing. Did it? Who knows? Well, stick around and find out. So the first week of the tour was going to be in a residency in a place called Morzine, which I think I had been to once or twice back in the day, but I didn't know the resort. I didn't know anybody there. And they were going to give me a small apartment to stay in for this residency. So I thought this is a great time for me to do some recording. I'll be there by myself. There was no Wi-Fi in that place. And I've got this new Tascam desk. So I thought, perfect, let's hone in on being a musician and doing some music shit. So I had recorded my arrival at the apartment. And in that video, looking back on it, for editing this video, I explained that I was playing in a restaurant club downstairs, underneath the restaurant, and it was a place I hadn't played before. I didn't play there on the last tour, and I definitely didn't play there when I did 4 seasons. And I explained in this video that I was nervous, that I didn't really know what they expected from me. Was it meant to be a big party thing? Was it meant to be a chill background thing? That I was nervous about using my new gear. Would it work? Did I have enough spares and stuff like that? But in watching back the video, I had a massive bogey that was very, very distracting. So I haven't included it for fear of getting pulled down from YouTube for community guideline reasons. But I'm telling you now what I said in that video, and without a bogey, I hope. We're in. my spot. That's Queen. Not bad, is it? I actually find it very hard to take it in. I find my eyes can't really focus properly because there's so much to take in, you know? So, a little bit of a debrief from yesterday. It went well. The initial stress and anxiety of being back out here playing the gigs again has lessened. I don't think it's completely gone yet. So, as I most definitely have said, take this off. As I most definitely have said, these first 6 shows are in a residency, and they have very lovelily, and they've given me a nice little apartment, just a little chalet. I'll show you. You'll see footage of it. I said this before when I was out here last time, that years ago, a very good friend of mine, Alex Davis, said that doing this sort of thing as a solo act can be incredibly lonely. Now, I don't want to focus on that too much because we're only the 2nd day in, but I can feel it looming already. I don't know, this is going to be an interesting journey over the next 3 weeks, but that initial walk, because it's so quiet here, I don't think you'll get the impression on the GoPro. There's a little bit of rumbling of traffic across the valley, which you may be able to see the cars going, and then you hear the birds, and there's nothing. Last night it was snowing when I came back, and you can't hear anything. It's very peaceful, but also very dominating, and it can highlight certain things, which when I used to do this, I was in bands, I'd be drinking, you know, a bit more of a party scene. So I didn't really notice this side of it before. And so I'm having conflict within myself because I'm like, Freddie, look where you are, look what you're doing, cheer the fuck up. And I'm not down, I'm not depressed or anything, but I just wanted to make a note that I'm very aware of how I'm feeling, and I'm so happy I bought this new Tascam desk or whatever, because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back and I'm just going to fucking record. So here's a little bit of a quick exclusive. This year I will be debuting an instrumental project that I have been brewing on, that's been in the back of the mind for a while, that's been filling up the files in the computer. So make sure you subscribe and like and follow for when that shit drops. I don't know when that's going to be yet, but that will be this year. But I thought this would be a great time in this residency, in this apartment, to do some instrumental recording because of a few reasons. One, I was surrounded by the mountains, which is incredibly inspiring, first of all. But second of all, I wanted to do some writing, but I knew I was going to have 3.5 weeks of singing almost every day for up to in and around sort of 2 hours every time. So I wanted to save my voice as much as possible. So I thought, well, instrumental shit ticks that box. So I managed to get 5 songs done. I also did squeeze out a song with vocals. I don't really know if that will ever come out in any sort of capacity, but I felt the inspiration come over, so I thought, bugger it, I'm going to do it. So I did 5 instrumental songs, 2 on electric, I think 3 on acoustic. Really inspiring stuff. I really enjoy it. Well, we'll see if you do in the future, but that happened, so that was really cool. So yes, make sure you subscribe and stuff because that'll be coming out this year. Okay. While the isolation was great for recording, it did send me on a bit of a mental spiral. I was consistent with my journaling,
yoga, stretching, meditation. I did some workouts as well. But some negative thoughts did creep in, and the isolation sort of made them a bit louder than I wanted them to be. The sort of standard thing I think that we all have, but that's sort of getting a bit louder for me over the recent times is, what the hell am I doing? Where am I going? Does this mean anything? Am I good at what I do? All that sort of stuff. And whilst I did not enjoy being in that mindset, I think long term it worked out really well for me over that tour and sort of now speaking to you, because it kind of felt a bit like a bit of a rehab, like a mental and spiritual rehab. I went on some walks during that week residency and sort of did some mind exploring. But I think because, like I said, the place had no Wi-Fi, so I think it really did help me face some things that I think we don't really like to face during normal life, or that we can get distracted by. The big stuff, we can get distracted by thinking about big life choices or life trajectories or who we really are, what we want, all that sort of stuff. I'm not gonna go more about this than now, but I just wanted to say that happened during this trip, and to have it at the beginning of the tour, whilst tough at the moment, I think really benefited me and was really beneficial. That's the same thing, isn't it? Last gig in Morzine tonight, last of the residency. It's been snowing. I don't think you'll be able to hear it, but you might be able to hear a snow plough tractor thing moving all of the snow off of the road, which is very kind and necessary. I'm sure I'll have lots to say about this fucking hell new jacket. Let's get that fixed. Damn it, that's distracting. Well, it's not going to put me in a bad mood for the gig. I'm ready for it. Let's go! So we're done. Residency in Morzine complete. How did that last gig go? It was good, it was quiet. There was a really nice moment when there was a family in with kids. 3 or 4 kids dancing, which is really sweet. And then a group at the end, 5 people. Really nice, really dancing. Sat down and had a drink with them afterwards. Really sweet people. But a really nice end. Quiet end, but that's fine. Yeah, I've had a really nice time. Look at the snow. It snowed. Wait, let me clear the snow and then I'll talk to you when I'm in the car. All right. So yeah, in conclusion, what have I learned? I've learned that I need to get out of my head, certainly in general, but definitely for the rest of this tour, that I need to give myself more slack, have more self-confidence in what it is that I'm doing. And to enjoy where I am, to enjoy what I'm doing, to be grateful and thankful for it, which I am. Right, I need to go and pick up my gear now. Okay, bye! So after the Morzine residency, that was 6 shows, I think. Yeah, 6 shows over a week. There was 1 day off. After that, I went back over to Maribel, or a town close to Maribel. That's where I was going to be based for the rest of the tour, staying with my very good friend Al Jones and his beautiful family. Al will pop up later in this video, but all you need to know right now is that Al is an Alpine Legend, and you should check out his music. Link below. Now, I most definitely probably said this in my video last year, and I've already hinted at it at the beginning of this video, and it's a theme that runs through this video about this specific tour. But working seasonal jobs can be very intense. They are very intense. Whatever you do, they are intense. When I used to do the full winter seasons, I was playing in bands, like I said, and I didn't really realise it at the time, but that intenseness is sort of, it's shared between the members, because you're all playing the gig every night. You may be all sharing the driving, or you're all sharing the setting up the thing, the PA. You might all do a bit of a song or share the singing or whatever. But I didn't know any difference at the time, so that intenseness was just what it was. Is that making sense? But doing it solo, having done 2 tours now, massive kudos to the musicians that are out there and the musicians all around the world that do seasonal stuff solo, because gee whiz is it intense. I know you will anyway, because this is a very entertaining video that already has you at the edge of your seat and enticed by my dulcet tones. But stick around to the end, because I've done some maths on numbers of the hours played and distances travelled and all that sort of stuff, and that was only for 3.5 weeks. Like I said, if you're there for the 5 months, they're big boy numbers, so stick around for that. Now, to save the strain on the keyboard warriors of climbing up on their high horse and, oh, well, Freddie, if it's too intense for you, then don't do it. I'm not saying that. I want to point out that I am so incredibly grateful for the opportunity of doing that tour, for the opportunity of doing music. I do not take it lightly, and I swear on my 2 furry babies that I am not complaining. It is just more simply stating the facts, because, I mean, if you're watching this channel, you have probably some sort of interest, or you do the music, so you will know. But I think people outside of the music just hears, like, my wife told some people, oh yeah, he's out on the tour in the Alps, and people hear Alps and think skiing and think fun and think, oh, that's great, and it is great, but the other stuff is just as, if not more, weighty, you know? Does that make sense? I fucking hope so, because I'm not going to record this again. But I think what I wanted to say, maybe it's like a cosmic balance of, if you do something you really, really want to do, the balance of that is you probably have to work harder than people doing stuff that you don't necessarily want to do. That's an interesting thought. Let me know in the comments what you think, or don't. We are now officially a third of the way through the tour. Well, tonight is the third of the way through. And we're playing a place that I played a few times last time I was out here. And I know I've got maybe 2 or 3 gigs at the same place, which is cool. It's interesting. You have to access it. The whole area is pedestrianized, there's no cars, so everything, you have to access everything by car via a huge underground car park, which is an interesting little adventure. It's called the Wool Socks Pub. I'm going to message Cedric to say that I'm on my way, because it's snowing, so I want to give myself a little bit more time, and for tourists as well. You know, they can clog up the road. Bloody tourists. Okay, let's go.
Get on my way, take the back seat, hitchhike. Take a long ride on the motorbike till ready. There's building our love. Look at everything that's coming on. Sometimes when I play my own 6 strings, I think about you and what went wrong. We'll watch it transpire.
Whoa, fucking hell. Another amazing gig. Really fucking good.
So as I mentioned earlier, I was staying with the Alpine Legend, a very good friend of mine, Al Jones. Now, Al has been doing that, has been living out there and playing out there for, I think, probably the best part, about 15 years, I think. And he's one of the few musicians that I know out there that does both the cover scene stuff, and he writes, records, releases and plays his own music too. So I was so excited to see, I'm always excited to see him, but I was so excited to see him and pick his brains, because any sort of question I had about the whole musical spectrum, he could offer some insight to it to a degree. So that really did help me, especially if I did get in my head about the gigs or what I should do or I shouldn't do or how I should approach it. He was very, because he does it all the time and he's done it for so long, there's a very sort of calm zenness answers to his to my questions, so that I really, really appreciated. But he has a small little studio in his basement, and so when Al Jones says, hey, we both don't have a gig tonight, do you want to go downstairs and write something and just play a bit, you say yes. We played around for about an hour on a little idea I stumbled across when I was in the Morzine residency. Really chill, really relaxed. Again, don't know if it's something that will ever come out, but it was just really nice to touch base with the creative side of music whilst on a tour that was not really a creative tour. Like the cover stuff, the songs are what the songs are. Of course, you can take some liberties. You can take liberties with the songs in creative ways, but fundamentally it's not really a creative tour in the way that I would like to experience a creative tour. So to touch base with the creative side, how many times can I say creative? Jesus. To touch base with that whilst out in the middle of it was so soul cleansing, and I'm so grateful for Al for so many reasons, but in this context, for this little sentence, to be able to do that with him, to write with him, to bounce off ideas. It was just so nice. Yeah, so thank you. So go check out Al Jones's music in the description, so you know where that is. He's wonderful. He's a wonderful person. Wonderful person. So for the most part, there was two different types of gigs that I did on this tour. The first and majority of these gigs were the après-ski party, singing and dancing, good vibes kind of thing. Now, whilst some of these gigs could be and were sometimes quite quiet, they really were my favourite to do because of the interactions you could have and the connections with people. I'm sorry, I don't want to bang on about the sort of solo stuff and it being lonely and all that sort of shizzle, but it is a key part of this story, or certainly my experience of it. So to have these interactions with people and the staff in these venues really helped boost the soul. Because we all need interactions with people. It's lovely being by yourself and having time for yourself and stuff, and that's important too. But especially out there where the whole thing is everyone's having a wonderful time, people are on holiday, it's all great vibes. To touch in on that and to connect with people it's the point of life, isn't it? Is it? I don't know. Is it? I don't know. Is it? But in those gigs, in the party gigs, you could really see the enjoyment on people's faces. And you could see that I could see that I was influencing their evening and making their evening better and creating memories for them. Sometimes, / maybe a lot of the times, there was an unhealthy amount of alcohol consumed by some of these people, which does help you have a good time. And perhaps some of them had so much of a good time that they couldn't really remember the good time that they had. But that's a small percentage of people. But the thing still, the thing still counts. They had a good time. I had a good time interacting with them. I had a good time. The second type of gigs were the sort of hotel, restaurant, foyer kind of gigs. Now, last year, they were actually my favourite type of gigs to do because of how quiet and how chilled they were. And I knew what they expected from me. And how I could lean into that and enjoy that, because there was no expectations to get people dancing, for them to be, singing and sort of, there was no need to bring a party vibe, which last year I very much preferred because I was lacking the confidence, having not done it for so long in such an intense period. But this year I kind of enjoyed them less because of that lack of interaction. And sometimes in the hotels, the staff have a million different things to do, so you can't really talk to them either on breaks. So you can't be playing to no one sometimes, and then not be able to interact with anyone, which can get in your head because it's like, well, what am I doing here then? I'm not playing to anyone. I can't talk to anyone. Did this even happen? Am I even here? What's really happening? Anyway, I'm literally playing to no one. Stream's gone. So. And like I said, I just enjoyed them less this year. I still enjoyed them. I still had fun, and it wasn't like I was ignored. If there were people around, they were sitting in, you know, they'd be going to dinner, from dinner, maybe just reading a book or whatever. And I did have some lovely interactions. People did come up sometimes and say they enjoyed it, or sort of a nod as they walk off or whatever. So I wasn't completely ignored, but the interaction, you know, I realise I'm an interaction kind of boy. So again, not complaining, just pointing it out. Hey fam, last gig. We are on the last gig of our 3 weeks. It's, oh fuck, thought I could charge that. I'm going to take you through the whole gig, record everything. I was going to record on the route there, but the battery is not fully charged, and oh wait, can I charge it? No, I can't get in there, fuck it, because it's meant to snow. I think it's going to be an interesting load in and load out, but as the last one, I thought I would record everything. So we're going to record everything, except the journey there, because I've just said. The throat is beginning to go as well, although I had a day off yesterday, but yeah. It seems it's all caught up on me. So, but to have a scratchy throat for the last gig is fine, because tomorrow we drive home, so that's cool. Okay. Let's go. You ready? This is going to be difficult. I'm going to film everything going in, because I need both the hands, you know. Oh. See, I could do with both hands here. I'll just do one for a minute. There we go. Salute. Hey man, how's it going, right?
Yeah.
You good? Right, so this is actually the second time, I'm moving the car now. This is the second time this tour I've played in this place. And the first time I played, I think I've got footage, was this. A great guy called Toby played after me, and the place was rammed. And I thought that was going to be the case now, but as you just saw, it's pretty empty, so it could be a quiet gig. So I thought it was going to be a bit more lively, but not so. It could be a very intimate last gig. I was hoping it would go off, but it might still do. It might still do. And if you think that I'm too holding on to something, you should go and love you. Roaming around, always looking down, and all I see. Well, we did it. It turned out all right in the end. Not very busy at all, but people that were there. Oh, this is going to be fun. Jesus, look. This is going to be a fucking ball lick. Jesus, this is going to be alright. Well, it snowed. I wanted to film shit, but it's going to take a while, so they're struggling. And I might struggle too. Report back in a minute. We're packed up
I struggled getting the little bit up the hill to the bar. I hope I don't need to put the chains on. There's a big fight going on behind me. Oh, it's all happening. Oh. We did it. I'm rolling down the hill. The car smells like clutch, but fuck it. We're rolling, and now it's just controlled skidding downhill. It's really fucking hard to do fucking content while you're trying to dig the car out, get in front of all the fucking drunk teenagers. Right, I'm turning this off because I'm driving in the snow. I love you, bye.
Freddie, you mentioned about the numbers. Can you talk about the numbers? Yes, I can talk about the numbers. So, I've got it written down here. I played 22 gigs in 25 days. Now, some of those gigs were 2 50-minute sets. Some of them were 3 45s. So what I've done is I've averaged a gig at, let's say, 2 hours. Okay? You good with that? So that's 120 minutes. That's right, isn't it? 60 minutes is an hour. 2 is 120. Yes. And so if we times that by 22, the amount of gigs, that is 2,640 minutes, I think. Is that right? Let's go with it. Or 44 hours played. The hand showed it. I didn't have any back pain, though, or any sort of... I'm so happy about that. So you have no idea. So happy about that. I didn't get sick once, which I think I'm even happier about, because like I said, last year, I got sick and I think I had to cancel a gig. This year, I was down in those vitamin C tablets, eating loads of vegetables and drinking loads of water, washing my hands to the point where my hands got so dry they hurt, so I had to invest in hand cream. But yeah, I didn't get sick. Really happy about that. I broke 2 strings. Both were the B string, and that is definitely because there was a sharp edge on the saddle which broke them. So does that really count? It wasn't through heavy playing, it was just through a fault on the guitar. But anyway, so 2 strings. And other than that, with the exception of the desk not recording because of the condensation, I think, I had no equipment bugs. No problems, no crackly cables, nothing blew up. Actually, that's not true. There was a casualty. So I have my little HX stomp, which I carry in this, because then I can attach that to the bag. And very handy, very useful. But in coming out of a gig once or twice, the Velcro, which is getting old now, didn't hold up, and so it fell off. And I get to a gig one day, and this little thing is off. Cat hair. This little thing fell off. Now that's annoying because I can't repair that myself. I found a guy in Lille, or just outside of Lille in France, that can fix it for me. So that's annoying. Maybe that's my fault for having it in a bag. Although I have realised what I can do is I can reinforce the... Anyway, that's not a... That's not for now. So there was a casualty. I didn't write that in my script or put it in the video. I'm sorry, I've just thought of it now. But see, we're about transparency and honesty on this channel. Hence the telling you about the mess that is that. And the bogey. I hope I don't have one now. Oh, it's too late now. If I have a bogey, it's in there now. Oh, yeah, right. So let's carry on with the numbers. I also reset the distance counter on my car to count the distance, and yeah, that's what you do. But I only remembered like an hour and a half into the drive. So add an hour and a half of statistics onto this. But I drove 4,112.4 kilometers, which equates to about 69 hours, 34 minutes and 11 seconds. So there you go. So yeah, that was a 3.5, almost 3.5 week numbers. Times that by 5 months. That's a lot of numbers. So a massive thank you to Après Ski Bands for having me back out there. I love you all very much, and I very, very appreciate being able to come out and tour. Thank you so much to Al and the Joneses for having me stay with you and your wonderful family. Very much appreciate it. You're wonderful people. I love you so much. Thank you for Maxim and Jenny as well for having me for the last few days, because that was very appreciative. Although now I really do want a PlayStation 5, so that's annoying. And thank you for watching this video, for liking, subscribing and commenting and all that business. I very much appreciate you. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope this has been somewhat enjoyable for you. I love you. Have a good day. I love you. Have a good day. I love you. Have a good day. I love you. Have a good day.